Welcome back to InnerCircle,
where we talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship.
So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on all social media platforms.
And make sure to turn your notifications on to be notified whenever we post new content. Now straight to the episode.
Hey guys.
Hi.
It's Heaven.
And Nyja.
And welcome to InnerCircle.
What you want to say? What we would talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship?
Baby, let me tell you something about that. When the last time we did that?
We don't have to have an intro.
You right. Yes. Because I was going to say, I didn't know that was part of the script now.
No, it's not. It's not. Oh, but this is the 51st episode.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Wow. I feel like that's like coming over Wednesday. It's a hump. It's like, all right. Now we can continue the momentum of it all.
Yeah.
I feel like getting to 50 was, I don't know. I feel like it went fast.
It went super fast.
I said, we at 50?
50.
Halfway to 100 is crazy. When you think about people being consistent in this podcast era, people don't make it to episode 3.
I thought you were going to say like 13.
I was, right? But I was watching the podcast last night and she was like, I'm back. Y'all thought I wasn't going to come back. And I said, well, this say episode 2. And I said, well, let me go back and see how long ago the first episode was. It was 6 months. It really takes a lot of dedication, time, and effort to sit down and talk. And I feel like a lot of people don't know what to talk about. It's just,
it's open.
Right. It's just, everybody want to start a podcast. What is the vision behind it? Did God tell you to do it, or are you just trying to make a coin?
Sometimes I don't think it's either. I think it's just something that people want to do because it's popular right now. Like as you know, you don't make no money doing no podcast. Like this is,
and if you didn't know,
now you know. There is no funds in the beginning. I'm saying in the beginning until there is, traction and followers, all those things. And even then, it's still like it's not a check like that. So I don't think sometimes it's either one. That is something that they prayed about. People don't typically do that, especially with businesses. Unfortunately, they should, but they don't. And as far as it being financial, they don't think about that either. I think it's just something that popularity, they want to be known, or it looks cute and fun, but this is a job
at the end of the day. And it has to be some level of purpose and passion to continue to do the job. Because then you'll get burnt down. You say, I don't want to do it anymore. I know that I've been in a space where not just necessarily potting, but just in general, it's like, I'm burnt down. I don't want to do it no more. I want to try something else, do something else. It's just always something. Like, I feel like people have the concept of, okay, this didn't work in the first week, so let me try something else. Let me do something else. It's like, you didn't even give it a chance to see if it was going to work.
I mean, we are guilty of that when we first started back in 2020. Like, we got past 3 episodes.
Right.
But it was like 13, and then and then we stopped, and then we started again. But then we had 1 season, and then we circled back, and then we did 2nd season, and now we don't do season. We just do episodes and just keep it rolling. But that was one of the first things that we had a conversation when we had a meeting with our producer. Was like, okay, do y'all realize that this needs to be consistent? Like, you can't just start and stop, because people want to see consistency, even though they don't do it themselves.
Yeah, and I think that is even bigger. That portion right there is bigger than the podcast. People want, people want to see consistency, but they don't do it themselves. Relationships, jobs, anything.
You walking heavy.
Listen to me. You opened up a door that I said I didn't know that one was open. Right. I saw it cracked, but I didn't know he was gonna walk through it. Consistency to me is on both ends. Now I'm on the relationship with anybody. It's like if I'm consistent, you're consistent. But we live in a world where it's always one-sided. There's always one side of consistency.
Yeah, I expect it, even though I don't give it. Like, I expect you to do and show up on time and do XYZ and make sure you do all these things, but I'm not doing it. And when I don't do it, I want to be extended grace. I want grace to be extended to me, but then you often don't give what you are expecting. And so potting is the same way, or anything in business. Like you just want consistency. The audience or the clientele wants that from you, even though they may not provide it in their own life.
Yeah, I think I walk in a way where I'm like, I am this way to other people because this is how I want to be treated, right? So when you talk about me being consistent in anything, we're going to start with the pod first. I watch podcasts that are consistent. So I watch this girl, she vlogs, and every Monday she drops an episode at 8 a.m. And this morning, I wasn't looking for it, but I know that she drops it, I get a notification. But this morning I was on Instagram watching the stories, and she was like, hey, I know it's 8:04 and I have not dropped a vlog. And it's because the expectation of, let me make sure that they know I've been consistent. Literally, I've been watching her since forever, since YouTube became a thing, right? And so I just say that to say she set herself up to where people know that she's consistent, so they're looking for it. With dealing with podcasts, we have people come up, if we miss a Wednesday, they are coming up and saying, hello.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah, where y'all at? I watch y'all on my lunch break. I watch y'all, like different levels of, I expect y'all to be here. Where are you? Mm-hmm. And so consistency draws people to you because they know what they can expect. When you're not consistent, oh, whatever, I'll catch her when I catch her. I'll see her when I see her. You're not going to get the following that you want if you're not consistent.
Okay, so let's go. Let's ride that train.
Yeah.
Okay. Every morning, the sun comes up at a certain time. Every day, the sun goes down. Every year, you have winter, summer, spring, and fall. In the beginning, that was the order that God, he created a level of normalcy. Like it is consistently, there are 7 days. Like our life as humans, you need consistency.
You have to.
And so when you don't have that, that's why people don't like change. That's why it drives them crazy, because they're like, because I've been doing this for 35 years.
Yes.
And now you want to come and change. And it's like, okay, so yes, in those seasons, it's still, even though the season is coming, you have new fruit, you have things, there's change within that. As the years go by, you're not 5 anymore, you're now 55. So change happens in the midst of a routine, in the midst of consistency. Growth happens, evolution happens, the world's going round and round, the sun is doing all these things. Like it's the part of being comfortable with being uncomfortable consistently.
Yeah. I think another word for consistency is pattern. You say all the time, you're like, I know your pattern, or I know this person's pattern. The moment in which it look a little different, something's wrong.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part. I don't know how I'm able to do it. I think God just gave that to me. And I learned that too years ago as a child, being brought up to pay attention to patterns. So I naturally, when I get to know somebody that is in my circle, I learn people how they, so you could send me a text message and I could tell if it's off.
Right.
I don't care who you are.
Right. Right. But I think that's a big thing in relationships too, right? Women are not going to date somebody that's not consistent.
Ooh, you walking heavy.
I have conversations with you all the time. I'm like, I have not heard from this man. I have not. You understand what I'm saying? Because in the beginning, it's like we texting, we calling, we tweeting, we reaching out, I'm pulling up, I'm doing all of these things. It's a level of consistency. So I show you that I care about you, and I show you that I'm going to be here. But the moment in which your pattern changes or you're not consistent anymore, you don't care for me as deeply as you did in the beginning.
Because consistency means investment.
Yes.
You are invested. If you're being consistent, that means you are being intentional, and intentionality means invested. If I am calling you in the morning, I'm texting you, that means I'm invested in you. Because if not, then what are we doing?
I feel like the number one reason that people don't make it dating wise is because consistency changes. Because you're always going to be, you're always going to have a pattern or continue to do something. There's something in your day-to-day life that's not going to change. So when you say that I want to be in a relationship with this person, or I want to be friends with this person, it's just a part of your day.
Yeah.
That's my pattern. My pattern is to reach out to my friends. My pattern is to talk to my husband, spend time with my husband, spend time with my kids. That's my pattern. I'm consistent in that because it's a number one on my call sheet. My pattern is I'm consistent when talking to the Lord every day. That's something that won't change. He's consistently blessing me. So I'm consistently, hey, God, let me talk to you. Let me see what's going on. Let me pray. Let me read my Bible. That's just something that I'm doing because I'm invested, like you said.
Ooh, I just got convicted. No, and I mean that in the best way, meaning because conviction's not always bad, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that it confirmed my I live by, I give God new yes every day, right? And so if God is not involved in your day to day and not just because you wake up in the morning, for me, this is my walk. I have incorporated daily offices. Right. So that means I stop whatever I'm doing throughout the day and I'm acknowledging that I'm going to stop, even though the world's still going, to acknowledge that it's still up and down, meaning like the sun, because of you. Mm-hmm. This is your world. You make it go round with or without anything and anyone else. So you're that important to me. I'm that much invested into you because you don't got to be invested into me. It's a privilege to be in your world.
Hello.
To stop what I'm doing to acknowledge you. And if you're not doing that with the one who created us, then how are you doing that with somebody who
think the rest of your life will be considered all over the place?
And typically it is.
Yes.
Because you don't have a routine. You get up in the morning. What are you doing? Are you brushing your teeth? Are you saying, God, thank you for it? Like, what is your routine? I've been challenged with really going back. That's why I have a calendar. I look at it. I review my notes or my day for the next day at nighttime so that, okay, do I have an early morning? Do I have a late morning? Like, what does that look like? How many meetings do I have? So that I'm preparing the night before for that next day. Now, granted, every day doesn't look the same because you have different clients, you have different things that's going on. But the routine is at night, I do this. I pray, I read a scripture, whatever that is for you, you need to make sure that you have structure. Because you have children need structure. Because you're training other little humans. So you want to know why your child this is not the end all be all, but sometimes children are a little bit wayward. One reason why is because they don't have structure, they don't have foundation. They don't have a normalcy. And they come in the house, it's homework assignments and making sure your chores are done. It's dinner time. All right, we're going to sit down or we're going to eat or whatever. What's next? They know what that life looks like. And then you add things around those. So you have foundational things, right? And then outside of that, it's okay, on Tuesday and Wednesdays, you're at football practice or you're at basketball practice. And then on Sundays, we fellowship at church together. Okay, so our free day off is Saturday. What is your Sabbath? I got convicted about that. Because, girl, I was taking like 12 hours to 6 hours for my Sabbath.
Oh, right.
And I read that good word. That word said 24 hours. Mm-hmm. I said that was not a Sabbath.
I don't even have a Sabbath.
And you out of line.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's bad to say, but I feel like I am in the season of no breaks.
By choice?
Yeah, because I feel like there was a time where, I'm not gonna call myself, I'm not even gonna say that word. There was a time where I was lazy.
Do tell.
Here we go, because you already know what's going on, okay? And I was gonna try not to use the other word, but I'm like, lazy will do, right?
Okay.
And it was like, you ain't gonna get up and do nothing. Like, this is your Sabbath. Your whole beginning of your 20s was your Sabbath because you didn't do nothing. So now I feel like I am not making up for lost time, so to speak, but I'm like just trying to find something that fulfills me in a sense, or to keep going. Or when I do take my Sabbath, I know, okay, on Monday I have this going on. Right now I'm just trying to figure it all out.
And see, for me, like, I rewatched our episode, the last, on the 50th, and one of the clips that's going around right now is when you were saying how we go to God, but he doesn't finish his statement, his sentence. It's a comma. We took it as a period and we running with it. Sabbath for me is when to continue to get the fulfillment and the assignment of what you're asking me to do. It's never ending. And so I'm stopping what I'm doing to seek you, not for a specific thing. It's a part of my routine. This is when we talk. You talk about Adam. He walked with God in the cool of the day. Every day they had a meeting place, a time what they were taught. That was a part of the routine. So when we get out of the habit of I'm only going to God to talk to him when I need something or because I need an answer about this, and instead of it being God is consistently edifying me, he's consistently in communion with me because it's a conversation. He's a part of my life. I'm not just including him when I want him to be. He's there every day. He's there throughout my day. So for me, a Sabbath is my day of rest, saying, number one, my businesses don't need me to function. And I've always read and I've heard and watched successful businesses that are running, and they're saying, if your business is successful and functioning because you're present, you don't have a successful business. Yeah. It's only successful in your absence. And so if I feel like I gotta keep going and keep moving in order for money or order for wealth or in order for it to be profitable, then I don't have the right structure. I don't have the right foundation. Where is my team? Because I'm looking for an attorney that's a business. Can we just use that as a marketing advertisement? I'm an accountant, an assistant. Y'all put your application and resume in. Yeah. Because I need a solid team. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you don't have your foundation ain't built on a good rock, what we doing?
I feel like that all I heard when you was talking was I have a Sabbath and I've created consistency around having a Sabbath.
Yes.
Right? Because when you don't do something, it looks foreign. Like for me, a Sabbath would be foreign because I've never done it before, but you have to create and be like, okay, I'm going to be consistent and having a Sabbath. And then next thing you know, it's not I have to be consistent. It's just, it is.
You know, the freeing part about it for me is it forces me to understand that it's not going to crash and burn because I don't do something. Like before, when I'm like, okay, when I first started entrepreneurship, like, okay, I got to get it every day. If this text message, this call, like, I cannot just be missing because I'm going to miss an opportunity. No, as a matter of fact, more opportunities have come to me because I have said, Lord, the word that I read says, number one, that I'm supposed to have a Sabbath because you rested. You don't even need no sleep.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need, you were doing that, showing me the blueprint. This is what it takes to do and live in prosperity, not wealthy like money trees outside prosperity. I mean, in all things, in my spirit, in my mental, in my emotional, in every capacity, I have to step away. I want to be the best mom I could be. I want to be the best wife I can be. I want to be the best friend I could be. I want to be the best servant I can be. I want to be the best employer that I can be, whatever that looks like. And I can't do all those things if I'm not walking with you. If I'm not if I'm not in communion and constant communication with you. It could be a small line. Thank you. Like, I want to feel your presence because you're in me. Mm-hmm. Like, I told you this story and it will forever be powerful to me. We talking about God. That's why even the birds, I was like, come on. I will forever be grateful of the story that talks about, it was like when a person that died and went to heaven, they want to ask Moses and Joshua and Abraham, what was it like to have God use them and speak to them and part the Red Sea and turn a stick into a serpent and all these things, because they want to know, like, how did that feel? And it said, when they went to heaven, they then asked them and said, we know what it's like to have God talk to us and be surrounding us and all those things. But what does it feel like to have him on the inside of you? Because the Holy Spirit didn't come to after he died, and they didn't experience the Holy Ghost inside of them. So what does that feel like to not have God walk with you, but walk in you? I said, oh my gosh. Like, that's what I mean. In everything that we do, I want to see God in the pillow, in your hair fall, like in everything. I want to see God in it. That's how powerful. That's how how infinite he is.
Yeah.
And so a Sabbath for me is stopping to say, you are the creator of the universe. And the world does not need us to keep going. We need you to keep going. So I'm going to acknowledge you and stop whatever it is that I'm doing to make you understand how important you are to me.
I think the powerful thing in that is I hear just change your perspective, like shift it, because you have a thought process of I just got to keep going. I got to make sure this is done. I got to do this. I have to do that. But it's like if you don't sit down and consult the one that even allows you to get the chance to do all of these things, you're going to find yourself just like a run-on sentence.
Or burnt out.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly going. And you were not created to do that. You're not created to just keep going and never stop.
Right.
If that's the case, we wouldn't sleep.
Right. As humans, we need the comma. When you look at a sentence or a paragraph, so to speak, you're using the commas for a pause just to take a second. You're not stopping. It's not a period. I'm not done. I'm just taking a second to breathe and analyze what just took place in the previous sentences. And then I'm going to continue and keep progressing. And I think for me, I have to use that in my day-to-day life. Like a comma is not a bad thing. A comma is actually a good thing because it's a pause. It's a reflect. It's okay, give me a second to see all of the things I have done. To see, okay, heaven, that didn't work out in that area. Let me try something else. Or God, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Erase everything else I just said, actually. God, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to operate? How do you want me to move in this way? Should I be an entrepreneur in this level? Should I go? Small things. Should I go to my mom's house today to check on them? Should I go to my friend? Like small, minute things that we think is like, okay, whatever, I'll get to it. It's like, actually, God has been pressing you this whole week. But because you decided to take your Sabbath, here's how he's going to talk to you.
And let's just clarify what a Sabbath is too. Like Sabbath don't mean laying in bed all day, do nothing, and watching TV. Like if that's what you choose to do, then so be it. Like I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying like worship is a part of my Sabbath, but I'm not working. I'm not checking emails. I'm not looking at text messages, and I'm not scheduling appointments. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm spending time, intentional time with my family, and I'm worshiping. I'm just being. I'm just here. If I want to take a nap, I want to take a nap. Like I'm not working. The biggest flex for me is, and I know we're not sponsored by Chick-fil-A yet, but it's on the way because Speak Those Things is not the word. But Chick-fil-A is a prime. Them jokers are closed they don't care about the saints of God loving Chick-fil-A on Sunday. They closed.
You know what they also are? Consistent. They didn't say, we're going to close every other Sunday or when we get ready to. They came out the gate and said, these are our hours. This is what we will do. This is when we won't be open. And because of the consistency in their product is good, of course, right? People say, I'm still going to go. And I know that they're closed on Sunday, but it don't matter because Monday around the corner. That's the level of consistency.
And that line be right around the building.
Yes, ma'am.
Monday morning.
And it will forever be because they're consistent. Their food tastes the same. You don't go there and you go to restaurants in some places and you like, okay, this didn't taste it. Or have you ever said, let me take my homegirl, let me take my husband or my man, let's go to this place because I've been here before and the food was good. Then you get there and you like, well, the sandwich don't taste.
Yeah, I've done that.
Plenty of times because they're not consistent. Chick-fil-A, because that's the example we're using. They're consistent in this is how the food gonna taste. You know the line gonna be wrapped around the corner. They're consistent in that. They're consistent in Sundays is their clothes. They have other things that they bring about, but the basis of their chicken is consistent.
Or you are consistently inconsistent.
Oh God!
So I can depend on you to maybe show up or maybe not show up. Like I can depend on you to not show consistency, and that's not a good thing at all. Like I don't know what I'm gonna get when I see you, and and you're consistent in it.
I think more people are like that than not.
Yes. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know. But I'm not going to set my hope on you providing. I'm gonna just put my bait out there and see what I get back. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna get.
The expectation is you're not gonna be consistent
and not dependent,
and you're not dependable. So I'm not gonna worry about it.
And so then when you start a business, and then you like, well, why nobody showing up? Because your life has said that you're not consistent. So why would you be consistent in this?
Yeah, because a lot of the times, like we talk about all the time, when you have businesses and of that nature, like big businesses, the people are looking at the person to start it off, right? your friends help you start your business. People that you know around you help you, right? Because they see, oh, I'm starting a business. Can you help me out in this level? So they're trusting your business because they trust you as a person. Once you stop being consistent, they like, well, your business probably won't be on that level, or your friendship not consistent. So I can't really trust you in anything because your word is not bond.
You know what I've learned too, being an entrepreneur, is that most people that start businesses immediately their circumference of their plan or their marketing is to the people that know them.
Yeah.
But that's limitation on its highest level. Because why is that your only clientele? You should be marketing, or the goal should be your avatar, your person, your desired like person that you want to sell that product to or that service to. But you're not, why are you trying to just get the pockets of your family and your friends? Like, go outside those walls. I've expanded so much so that I'm not, and then you're disappointed because you're like, well, you know, you got 13 cousins and I got a whole big old, you know, family full of people and my job and I could do this. Yeah, sure, to start there, but that shouldn't be the basis of your product line, or you only sell to them, or you're dependent on them to consistently buy from you. Make them your mouthpiece, possibly, if you're providing a good service. But if they don't support in that capacity, why are you mad?
I think because your first people that support you is your family and your friends.
First, hear me. Usually and typically, if you have a solid family, they do. But I'm saying, you've been in business 3 years and you still want them to only be the people that's supporting you all the time. Like, everybody pockets change and everybody interests change. Like, you need to have a game plan beyond, okay, the first 30 days, I'll give you 6 months. They're supporting you. What's after that? What's after that? Who are you marketing to after that? You mad talking about when I put out something, they'll never support me. But they did.
But half the time it's because I know you, Tyrone. And I know that you consistent for about 2 days. And then after that, it's like whatever. So, and typically, like you said in the beginning, your businesses are word of mouth. And if your family is not supporting you and heavily and telling outside people, it's because they know. Because the time, if I say, go to Nyja for this, go to Nyja for that, my name is on the line potentially, right? Because they're not going to go directly to you and say, oh, well, you didn't do this right. They're going to come to me and say, well, you told me to go, that she was the best realtor out here, and look what's going. You want the reverse. Like, you told me she was, and I appreciate you because she killed. I'm in the best home. That's the type of feedback you want. But you have people that just putting out stuff and just like, oh, my family gonna support me, and not consistent because it's just, oh, my family, my friends gonna support me. They're gonna always be here type of mentality.
Yeah. I just want in this season that people to acknowledge the fact that if somebody has supported you in the past, to be appreciative that they didn't have to do that. My old pastor used to say, people don't have to be nice. And when they are nice, they don't have to be nice to you. And so when they are nice to you, you should use that as an appreciation to say thank you. If you never do anything else going forward, I appreciate what you have done because you didn't have to. And so that's where it's like, the whole nutshell is like, your family or your friends or your colleagues or whoever it was, if they have ever bought a ticket, if they have ever supported your service, if they ever did your product, whatever it was, they did a taste test or whatever, they did not have to do it.
Yeah.
And so if they did, thank you.
Yeah.
That thank you goes along. A grateful heart, like we do for the Lord.
Right.
You got up this morning, you just thought that you were supposed to have breath in your body. You don't, no thank you. No, when praises go up, when thank yous go up, blessings come down because you're grateful. If we walk into a gratefulness, just a heart, a posture of praise, adoration.
I challenge people to look at a thing that you're already consistent in, and also look at the things that you're not consistent in and see what you want to pull in. Some things that we're not consistent in, we actually want to be. But because we're so caught up in everything else, it's like, I'll get to it when I get to it. But like we said, you can't progress. You can't be the #1 podcast in the world. You can't be the best makeup artist in the world. You can't be the best broker in the world if you're not consistent.
Yeah, and if you're not willing to be uncomfortable. in the growth of getting to that place, right? Like a lot of things, the habits, because we're in essence talking about breaking habits, and creating a new trend. And the only way to do that is to do what you've never done and keep doing until it becomes your new normal. It becomes your new routine. At the end of the day, like whatever it is you want to break, do the opposite of that, or find someone who is doing it and mimic them.
Yeah,
because a lot of this, I'm also learning, why are you recreating the wheel? You're not the first person that thought of that. You won't be the last one. And I promise you that somebody already doing it well.
Yeah.
So find that person, see what their game plan is, and make that your own, and find that answer during time frame or time with the Lord, when your Sabbath and when your daily offices, and you're trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah. What about like just making a challenge for yourself? Like saying, I'm going to be consistent in this area for, let's say 90 days. Because they say it take 21 days to break a habit, form a habit, whatever, right? 90 days, I'm going to be consistent in this and see how that looks.
That's too much.
90 days is too long?
That's too much to start with.
Okay.
I'm speaking for me.
Okay.
If you tell me 90 days, I immediately get overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed because I'm like, that's 90 days. For me, I have to break it off into just bite-sized pieces. So I'm like, okay, if I know the goal is to lose weight, I'm using that because a lot of our sisters out here trying to lose weight, right? If I know the goal is to change my habit in 90 days, I'm going to start with just maybe 2 or 3 days at a time.
Okay.
So for 3 days, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go to I can digest that. And I look up and I'm already at, okay, I made it to a week. And you just keep going from there.
Yeah, I guess my personality is, I'm like a way for a goal person. Like, I guess since we're talking about weight, for me, I'm starting in January for my birthday in June. Because I know that there's the goal that I need to get to, but it's all depend on its personality.
Yeah,
and
but
how
also
you function.
is it successful though? Because sometimes you say in January to June, but you don't start till March or April.
No, you're not talking. I do start in January. I do. Now after June, I don't know.
See,
but I do start. Like,
you ain't start. We in April. Have you started?
I ain't say this year. Last year I did that.
You know what? You got it.
But I'm just saying, just set a time. Just whether it's 3 days, whether it's 90 days, whatever that looks like for you. Stay consistent. Whether it's 24 hours.
Right.
Stay consistent in your consistency.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
That's all.
So as always, in herself she is loved.
In herself she is beautiful.
In herself she is strong. See you next week, guys.
Y'all next week.